Hi, my name is Thomas Essler. Thanks for checking out my Abolitionista Kickstarter campaign. I'm really excited to be sharing this project with you, which might be one of the most important projects that I've ever been a part of. I'm creating a manga comic book called Abolitionista for at-risk children to tell them about the threat of human trafficking and give them the tools to protect themselves. Abolitionista is about a girl named Eden whose best friend Delaria disappears, and Eden, like an amateur detective, goes out gathering the clues that'll solve the mystery of her friend's disappearance. All these clues are the most common red flags of a girl being trafficked into the sex industry. When Eden finds her friend Delaria, she discovers that she's been lured into sexual slavery by a predator who's promised to take care of her. Eden recognizes that this predator has manipulated such a strong bond of love in Delaria that she's actually enslaved to him and will do whatever he asks her to do. The term human trafficking can be a confusing one. Perhaps the best word to describe this issue is slavery. Almost everybody understands the word slavery. That's why we've included historic slavery into our story. Our main character, Delaria, before she's trafficked, discovers a picture of her first ancestor brought over to the New World as a slave. And immediately, this slave ancestor becomes a character in our story. In Delaria's bleakest hour, this slave ancestor appears to her and tells her what it's like to be a slave. It is only then that Delaria really recognizes her own enslavement to a trafficker that she's been thinking of as her boyfriend, and she can finally muster the courage to make her escape from him. I got this idea from my friend Ruth Eichmiller-Whalen, who is project director of Sex Crimes Court up in the Bronx. And Ruth was doing an event with girls that, like our main character, Delaria, had been rescued from being trafficked. And she realized that they were all reading comic books and thought that someone should write a comic book about this story. And I thought that someone should be me. Ruth has promised that once the comic book is produced, that she'll take it around to community leaders on the city level, the state, and even the national level, and try and get this comic book introduced into schools. The artwork that you see is being done by the fabulous Delilah Buckle. Everything you've seen is representative of what's going to be in the comic book. But Delilah's working on that artwork now, and we need this Kickstarter campaign to fund her finishing that work and for us to produce the rest of the comic book. And in return, we're going to send our supporters a production blog that tracks the work as it's being produced. We want you to be a part of the team that creates this empowering story of young people protecting themselves and their friends from this horrendous crime. All you have to do is go to the top corner of the page and press the donate button. No amount is too small. All we need is $1 from 8,500 people, and we will make this project happen. You know, the great thing about Kickstarter is that not one penny of your pledge will be taken unless we make enough money to fund the entire project. So what do you get in return for your pledge? Aside from the satisfaction of knowing you're helping to protect children all over the country and all over the world. Well, here's some of the pledge levels. For a $10 pledge, you get a digital copy of the comic book. For $25, you get swag that includes a paperback copy of Abolitionista, our manga. For $500, we will draw you into a background scene in the comic book. This is just a great gift for the comic book lover in your life, like maybe a child's birthday gift or a Christmas gift, and we can get this to you by Christmas. For $2,000, we will make you one of the heroes in the comic book. And for $10,000, we will put your name on the cover of the comic book. So thank you for coming to this Abolitionista project page and taking a look. You know, we can create this story of powerful young women protecting themselves and their friends, but only if we work together. So please, go to the top of the page. Pledge your support now.